Hello beautiful ones, welcome back to the House of Joseph. If you're new here, I am Joseph. It's really lovely to meet you, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So what are we doing in today's tutorial? Well, it's not really a tutorial, it's more of a review. And I thought it was time I brought back or reinstated an old tradition on the House of Joseph, which is the blind foundation review. I'll explain to you very, very briefly how the blind foundation reviews work and why I do them. So what I do is I go and buy a bottle of foundation from the pharmacy or the drugstore, as you beautiful American people call it. I try to avoid as much literature on it as possible, so I basically know nothing about the foundation. Then I get it home and I try it on, and then I give you my thoughts on it. And at the end towards the end of the video, we look at the website just to see whether my findings marry up with the company claims. So in today's tutorial, we're looking at this, which is the brand new Maybelline New York Lifter Foundation. This is the Plump and Glow formula. Can you see that? And this is in shade 129. I'm normally 120 in Maybelline, which is possibly slightly too pale for me, but this is all I had in the store. So possibly too yellowy, but we'll soon see. It's a 30ml foundation, £10.99. Shall I try and get it right, shall I? £10.99 from Superdrug in the UK. You can buy it online. And as I said, when I study the website later with you guys, I'll let you know how many shades there are, company claims, so on and so forth, and whether I agree with them or not. And ultimately, I'll pass it or fail it. So that's what today's tutorial video is all about, or review is all about. And to apply said foundation, we'll be using just a bog standard brush, but I did go out to Poundland and get 2 new brushes. There's this one, which is just a foundation brush with a flat sort of top, and a kabuki brush, and these were £1 each. Can you believe that? They're probably not the best brushes in the world, but then I don't believe in spending a fortune on brushes. Throw them away, get yourself some new ones. Do you know what I mean? And I did get a little blending sponge as well, same company, same shop, same price, £1. Can't go wrong with that, can you? So should we move on to skin prep? Let's do that. Now, regular viewers to the channel will know that I'm not a fan of skin primers or foundation primers, any of that nonsense. I think that they're gimmicky, and they can actually alter the way foundation looks in a negative way. So I will concede though, however, that some foundations will require an amount of slippage or hydration. So I'm going to be using this one today because I assume that this foundation has got silicones in. Which foundation doesn't these days? This foundation has silicones in it that I will need to then try and match that up with the skincare I'm using. This one actually has loads of silicones in it. So that's a tip for today, is if you're trying to, if you want the best results from your foundation, make sure your skincare is a similar sort of composition, i.e. either water-based, oil-based or silicone-based. That's the best I can say on that subject. So let's just get some of this on, this 52 to be 53 in July face of mine, shall we? And a good amount, guys, why not? This is by, it says, it's just about to sing its virtues and it's broken. No, it's not broken, just can't get the lid on it. It's got one of those polystyrene sort of sealy things on it, but it's a dupe of the Donk Elephant peptide cream. This was £2 from Home Bargains, I believe. And I'll link everything I'm using today into the description as always. It's nice because it doesn't smell of anything. It's water light. It absorbs really, really quickly into the skin, and it does give you a lovely base for foundation, so on and so forth. If you can hear running water, David's having a shower. Bless him. But yeah, so that's what that noise is, if you can hear running water. There were dogs earlier barking outside, and for some reason the noise is coming through the oven, the air vent thing, what's it called, the cooker hood thing. But hopefully they won't keep barking either. But when doing blind reviews, guys, I need to try and glean as much information as I can from the bottle, because as you heard me say at the start of this video, I tried to ignore or purposely not look at the merchandising. I know nothing about this at all. I don't even know what the ingredients are in it, how many shades there are in it, or claims or anything. All I know is it's supposed to, what did it say? Plump and glow. So let's, without any further ado, it's a brand new one. Can you see it's still sealed? Without any further ado, let's crack it open. Oh, it's just a pull off top. It has got a pump, so that's top marks in my estimations. Let's get some of this on the back of my hand, shall we? And I do that first because I'm a bit worried because that didn't take too many pumps to get that open. Do you know what I mean, guys? Someone's had that on their face, haven't they? Let's just get this open. What was I going to say? Gone. Totally gone. No, it hasn't. Yeah, it's totally gone. I generally like to put a bit on the back of my hand prior to applying it to my face, just so we can just estimate colour match and formulation, whether it's medium coverage, full coverage, sheer coverage, so on and so forth. So that's 2 pumps on the back there. And let's start blending that in. This is in shade 129, isn't it? Just a dry brush, guys. It's, nice colour, a little bit peachy. Shall I refrain from making decisions before we've even got the review underway? Okay, I'll do that. How are you all, beautiful ones? I hope you're all okay. This is the flat top brush, by the way, the one that cost £1 from Poundland. I love Poundland. I just wish they had more cosmetics in there. They have their own ranges, but that's really glowy, isn't it? It's pretty dewy, I suppose. Very light reflecting. There's a very, very, very faint perfumey sort of, not an unpleasant smell by any means at all. In fact, it's very, very, very faint, but it's certainly not a fragrance-free formulation. So that's that part on the back of the hand. What do we think? So if I just compare that one to that one, it's slightly too yellow for my skin, isn't it? Perhaps I should have gone for 120. Doesn't matter though, guys, does it? We're just trying to get a feel for the product and whether it transforms me and makes me look like I've had a facelift, which I doubt immensely, but if it does, all to the better, eh? All to the good. Just take that label thing off there. Just looking at it off camera, it does appear more pinky than it is on camera. So yeah, what I'll do stage 2 or phase 2 of the review is to just put a strip down there to check for colour match. So let's do that now. Can you hear the boiler? Bless him. Right, so let's just try that. If it disappears entirely, then you know you're onto a winner, guys. As I said, I don't even know what coverage is found. Shall I just read the bottle? Maybe that would help. It says foundation, medium coverage. So that's our coverage. They're suggesting it's a medium coverage foundation. Glowy finish. I don't like the word glowy, as you guys know. And then it says with hyaluronic acid and peptides. Oh, so it's one of those skincare infused formulations or formulation, which is, it's slightly greasy actually, guys. And not in a hyaluronic-y way. I think it may just be packed because it's packed full of silicones, but it does feel slightly greasy. I don't know if you can see there. Shall I stop here? So that's where I've just put the swatch, guys. If I come in really close and you can see how that looks. How does it look? Does it look an exact match to my skin or not? Because I'm very visually impaired, and I've got 2 pairs of glasses, one for reading and one just for general use. These are the reading ones. I still can't see very much with them, but that's pretty good, isn't it? Actually, that colour match. Things are looking up, guys. As I said, if it suddenly gives me the appearance of having a full-on facelift, then we will pass this with flying colours, but I doubt that very, very much. So phase 3 of the review is now to apply it to the entirety of my chops, which I'll now do. I'll use the Kabuki one for this because this will allow me to really get it into my pores and to, buff it around the skin. These are buggers to get into, these bloody things. Right, that was slightly easier to get into, still not these. It's still a bit Fort Knoxy, but right. And also when I'm doing a blind foundation review, I tend not to use any of my own techniques. So I'll be using the brush dry today and the foundation as it's intended to be used. So let's just, at the same hand as we've put the swatch on, let's How many pumps, guys? 2 or 1.5? Or should we go with 2? Why not? Give it a real fair crack of the whip, shall we? There's loads there, guys. £10.99. It's not a bad price, really, is it? And I've been waiting for a drugstore company to bring a new foundation out. Depending on how good this formulation is, it might be big, or it might not be. Camera's going funny again. It's because it doesn't like bright lights, and I've got a studio light here and a studio light here, just to counter shadows and so on. But so now what we'll do is with the kabuki brush, we'll just gather some of the foundation onto the brush before we start buffing it into the brush. And now what I'm going to do is just work that into the brush as much as I physically can to make sure each bristle is covered. And I'm pressing quite hard there, guys. It is slightly greasy, actually. I don't know whether it's packed full of hydrating ingredients. I mean, hyaluronic acid is a hydrating ingredient, although it's a water-based product, so why this is giving me that oily sort of look, I don't really know. It would be wonderful for dry skin, I should imagine. So that's buffed in enough. Right, let's get this onto these old chops, shall we? Start around here, that's where I like to start applying it. And then I like to get the foundation onto my skin before I start manipulating it around. Very sheer, isn't it? Get some more onto the brush. Not so sure about this one. It's making me look like a baked bean. It makes the back of my hand look like a baked bean for sure. Let's carry on. So now I'm going to start swirling. It smells not unpleasant though, guys, but if you're intolerant to fragranced cosmetics, then it's probably not for you, because there's definitely a fragrance in there of some description, or quelle description. Shall I stop that with the old French? Shall I? Right, there's one pass of the foundation. Let's have a look at that. No, it's the colour match is way off for starters, and it's not as glowing as I thought it would be. So what I'll do is I'll put some more on. David will come out of his shower and realise that he's living with a man who wears lots and lots and lots of foundation. Won't he? He will. He'll say to me, Joe, I thought you had perfect skin. Didn't realise it came out of a bottle. Joking. Right, okay, let's get some more of that. And this time I won't buff in quite so much, just because I think I'm overloading the brush with it. I'm not letting any of it go onto the skin. Right, okay, let's try that again. Colour match, it's not bad really, is it, guys? Do you know what I mean? And what I would normally do is, if I was working on a client or anything, I'd put concealer on before foundation, and then just glance the foundation over the areas I put the concealer on. Does that make sense? Why wouldn't it make sense? You all grown, intelligent people, aren't you? It's me treating you like idiots. So that was 1.5 pumps on that side of the face. So it's very, very sheer, this formula. And not as glowy as I would like. Skin feel, it does feel hydrated. Now that could be the fact that the moisturiser is wonderful. But when I've used the moisturiser on its own, it just disappears without a trace. So I'm assuming that this hydrated feel is just coming from the foundation itself. Yeah, you can see a little bit of glow up there. And not much, but it's quite matte in fact, isn't it? It is. Let's just do the other side, and then I might just go over with a soaked beauty sponge just to see if that does anything, because I don't like matte foundations at all, and as you get older you need to steer away from matte foundations. So the formulation had more glowing, more light reflecting properties. I would, without hesitation, advise it for older, maturer skins. But because it's drying really quite matte and it looks quite matte, I'm hesitating without recommending it at the minute. So we may go on the website and say it's a demi-matte finish or it's this, but then why put Glow and Plump or something. Was it Glow and Plump on the label? It's just here. I could just have a look, couldn't I, guys? It's so much easier than me guessing. Yeah, Plump and Glow. SPF 15 as well. I should have said that. 30 mils. That eyelid keeps twitching. Can you see? That's me twitching it. But when I was at work last week, I noticed it started twitching. Yeah. Okay, because I'm under a lot of stress at the minute, guys. Oh dear. Right. I assume that this is a continuation of the, do you know what I mean about e.l.f. releasing the Satin Glam, whatever it's called, foundation. I assume this is Maybelline's version of that, because that's phenomenally successful, isn't it? Although I hate that foundation. I'm not really a big fan of foundations in the first place. I do prefer skin tints, but can you see the colour of my beard suddenly gone all grey and horrible and old? Let's have a look at that now. No, it's looking very matte and very flat, isn't it? And that's not what you want from a glowing or a dewy finish foundation, which I assume this one is. Again, I'll eat my words if we go onto the website and say, but then why would they say plump and glow? It escapes me. So yeah, it's very, very flat, isn't it, guys? Just finish off blending. It smells slightly reminiscent of, does anyone remember Clinique's Almost Makeup, which was almost like a sheer tint that they released in the mid to late 1990s, one of the earliest silicone foundation sort of things, but that's what it smells like. So it may be fragrance free because that's had a slightly perfumed scent to it, although everything that Clinique sells is fragrance free, other than their fragrances, obviously. But yeah, it's not unpleasant though. In fact, it's given me quite nice memories of when I used to use Almost Makeup. Shall I just shut up and get this on my face? Shall I do that, guys? Work it into les temples, or the temples. But that was such a bargain, wasn't it, for £1, as was that. £1 for each of those. Couldn't believe it, walked in there and everything in Poundland is now £1. Funny that, isn't it? But no, sometimes they sell stuff for £2 or even £3, but literally everything in Hereford Poundland is now just £1, so that's brilliant, isn't it? Why call a store Poundland if it's not all going to be £1, eh? Makes sense, doesn't it, guys? Yeah, it's slightly too yellow, I think, for my quite strongly pink-toned skin. Although I could fix that just by adding a slight amount of purple lip gloss to the form as I'm mixing on the back of my hand. That would just fix any of that and make it far cooler than it is. And that's a tip that is on this channel somewhere. I'll find that video and link that into the description too, about how to fix a foundation which is too warm toned. Got a piece of glass in that hand just there, and it's been there for nearly 5 years. So it keeps rearing its head. I keep thinking I've gotten rid of it, and then it just keeps reappearing. So really annoying. But you can see how flat that is, can't you? There. No, I'm not a fan at all. I'm not going to be passing this foundation unless, of course, we go onto the website and it says that it's a matte foundation. But then why would they call it Plump and Glow? I don't know, guys. I haven't got a clue. Stop asking me, please. I'm kidding. Right, okay. So maybe we may be able to fix this by using the this little beauty blender thingy. Again, £1 from Poundland, but I don't have high hopes for this foundation at all. And what I'll do this time is I'll go and soak that in some water and just see if we can bring that lovely House of Joseph glow back to my skin. Should we do that, shall we? Let's do that. Right, beautiful one. So that's the soaked, and it is so. You can see how wet my hand is. Can you see that? It's not proving I'm not trying to dupe anyone, but so we'll just go in with the rounded and just pounce that, or bounce it, in fact, over my foundation duct skin. Probably going to remove most of the foundation now, but don't matter, guys, does it? As long as we get that beautiful House of Joseph glow back to the skin. That's all we're concerned with today, isn't it, guys? Trying to make this foundation work for us. And again, because I've used a silicone-based moisturizer with a silicone-based foundation, the two won't be affected by something like the soaked beauty blender, which has picked up most of the foundation. So now I can't tell whether that's foundation or just my skin. I don't really know, but it does look okay though, doesn't it now? It's still no glow, but oh, I don't know. Hang on. Can you see there? and there. So that's the water working against the silicones in the foundation. So I'll just carry on with this a little bit more. And for £1, you know what I mean, guys? You could just throw that away and get yourself a new one, couldn't you? Even buy 12 or 15 of them, so you've always got one for the day after the day. Yeah, shall I stop there? Okay, right, will do. Okay, so I'll just let that dry now and evaporate the water, because it's not soaking wet, but it is pretty damp. And we'll just have a quick review of what that's done to my skin. I don't know why it's saying it's got peptides and hyaluronic acid. I don't know why it actually says plump and glow on the front, because it hasn't made my skin plump, and it certainly hasn't made it glow. If anything, you guys saw, didn't you, how flat and almost chalky it looked. Although we have managed to get a bit of glow back to it, but that's because I've removed most of it now and added water into the equation, or the equation. Which always works so well with silicone-based foundations. But yeah, no, it's most of it's off my face now, so I'm probably going to fail it, as I said. Should we have a quick look at the website, and then we'll wrap up this blind review? Shall we do that? Let's do that. Right, beautiful one. So I've gone straight to the horse's mouth. I'm on the Maybelline New York.co.uk. It's just Maybelline.co.uk website, but the company's called Maybelline New York. And this is the Lifter Plump and Glow Foundation. Can you see that? And it's got, how many shades are there? 2, 3, about 15 shades, I would say. Ours was 129, wasn't it? And I found it slightly too yellowy for my skin, so I imagine it's probably neutral or something like that. 129 is neutral tones, so yeah. And it says about this foundation, hang on, let's have a look. Benefits. Long-lasting hydration up to 24 hours. Now, I did say, didn't I, when I had it on my skin, that it did feel hydrating. So yeah, I'll give them that. 90% skin caring base, infused with 2% niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. So what they're trying to say there is the fact that this is a foundation that's infused with skincare. Niacinamide will help to brighten up dark spots and may have some impact on fine lines and wrinkles. You would need to keep using the foundation a lot, though, for a longer period of time before you saw those benefits. Radiant finish, all day plumpy glow. I don't think so. No way. No. I'm failing them on that one. It was really flat and matte, wasn't it? Well, you saw it yourselves. Clinically tested based on a consumer study. 84% agreed skin looks plumper. Well, I'm not one of those 84%. 86% agree skin looks more radiant and glowy. Again, I don't agree with that. 86% agree skin is visibly improved instantly. How can it be, guys? How can it? How can a foundation? I mean, are they talking about the fact that the foundation's covering up spots and so on and so forth? Of course, that's going to improve skin's appearance. 84% agree fine lines appear minimized. No time frame there at all. Are they speaking instantly or over 4 weeks or what? I don't know. 85% agree skin looks more youthful. Again, no time frame, so we can't pay any attention to that, to these claims. There's a little star at the end of the last 2 or 3 claims. In fact, all of the claims, there's a little star. It says self-assessment, 91 women, which is a fair sample size, I suppose, but not a massive sample size. And had they said to use it over 4 to 5 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see a visible improvement in your skin, I would have bought that. But the fact that they've just given this grandiose statement saying 84%, 85% agree the skin looks more youthful, I'm not buying that. So how to apply? Probably going to find out now that I've applied it entirely in the wrong way. It does say shake well before use. Now I know that I didn't shake it well before use, so perhaps that's why it didn't work. Although if I shake it now quickly and do the whole thing again, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I haven't got the energy or the time really to do that, because there's 90 minutes left on the camera. Take cap off and pump to apply on fingers and onto Clean hydrated skin, blend with brush, finger, blah, blah, blah. If needed, apply more product for extra coverage or coverage. Ingredients, you've got niacinamide, loads and loads of silicone. So again, I was right there in assuming that foundations these days, modern foundations, contemporary foundations, have loads and loads of silicones in them. And has it got fragrance in it? That's the most important thing, isn't it? I can't see it. Now, the peptides in it are palmitoyl tripeptide 1 and palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7, which I believe could be Matrix or 2000 or something like that, and one of those ones which reignites the collagen upregulation in the skin. So I assume with continued use, it may improve skin tone, texture, fine lines, although they are pretty far down on the ingredients list. They're all the way down there in that region, which means that they'll be in the nth degree of a percent. So 90% skin carrying base for a glowy, plump skin look. Meet the new Lift Plump and Glow foundation. I'm not impressed with it at all, and I think that Maybelline, I mean, look at that. That's one of those slide across things. Look, can you see her before skin? Looks okay, doesn't it? And then I'll just bring across that just a little bit. Sorry, guys. And then if I just move that across there, look at how glowing her skin looks. Look at that on her cheek. I didn't have any of that, did I? Granted, it may be because I didn't shake the bottle, so. But this is the inherent risk of doing these blind reviews. Do you know what I mean? You find out some vital piece of information like shake the bottle to get the glowing agents or whatever the light reflecting agents in the thing circulating within the formula. Although I still probably wouldn't. Let me just try this anyway. Before I go today, guys, let me give this a jolly good shake. And then we'll put some on that cheek there. That's, as I said, it's basically all gone anyway from the fact that I have gone in with a soaked sponge. Although, if this now gives me a fantastic glow, I will eat my words, and I may very well pass it. Let's just put some more of this on the back of that. That should do, because we're just doing this just to see whether I was wrong and that I should really have shaken the bottle first, or shook the bottle. Shaken? I don't really know. Right, so, stop it, camera. There we go. Naughty, isn't it? Right, let's get that on there. Just for this area here, beautiful ones. And if we now look like the woman from the advert, words will be massively eaten, although I don't think it will be. No, it's exactly the same. It's matte, it's chalky, it's horrible. I don't like this foundation at all. No, I won't be passing this foundation. So it's a fail from the House of Joseph for the Maybelline New York Lifter Plump and Glow Foundation. Sorry, Maybelline. Not that Maybelline New York are going to listen to me in the least, because who am I at the end of the day? Just a makeup artist, aren't I? And various other things, but I'm not an important person, I understand that. But how to improve the formulation, make it live up to its claims, make it glowy, put much more light reflection in it, and more of a pearlized sort of light reflecting as opposed to glittery, because glittery is never good, is it really, guys? But no, it does feel hydrated though. I'll give them that. And I suppose 15 shades isn't bad, although it wasn't particularly inclusive. I didn't see many dark shades on the formula, on the chart thing. Hang on, I'll just show you quickly. Beautiful ones. Sorry about this. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Hang on, there we are. I'd say the last 3 or 4 on there, that one, and that one, are the darkest. The rest of them are just way too pale. So I'm failing the Maybelline Lifter Foundation on the fact that it doesn't live up to its claims for being glowing, for starters. B, the shade range is just, 15 is a good shade range, although it's not inclusive really. I mean, 3 out of 15 is just horrendous, isn't it? But the biggest reason I'm failing is just the fact it makes you, it's very mask-like. I suppose you could call that medium coverage. Who knows? But no, I'm not passing this. I don't like it at all. It reminds me of the Elf Satin Glam Foundation, which it's got the same finish as that. So I'm sure this foundation will be hugely popular in the beauty world. But if the beauty world likes foundations that make these grandiose claims, then fails to live up to them, that's up to the beauty world. I'm certainly not passing it. Anyway, I better go, guys, because I think Dave's just about to get out of the shower, and I've got to go and cook tea now, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, I love you all very, very much. If you like this format for the video, the blind review, or you're pleased to see it again, do let me know in the comments. Why did I reintroduce the blind review? Just because I miss doing them. I really, really did miss doing them, and it sets this channel aside from all the others which just review foundations like everybody else on YouTube. So they're the two reasons why. Waffling. Better go, guys. Love you all. Take care.